Cameron, hit that intro music.
Champagne, Carol's gonna turn into dust. An old saint, a silver surface worn into rust from long nights in a neighborhood I started to trust.
We're the boys, and this is a podcast. My name is David Carter. How you doing?
My name is Cameron Bass. Also, how you doing?
And from the land of cornfields and terrible internet, I'm Ben Evenson.
And I'm Parker Outman, and this is a podcast with the boys. Welcome back for episode 1, the real episode.
Did you guys see that picture of Keanu Reeves? He's got a bottle of water, like a big glass bottle of water, and a wine glass.
yeah, I saw that
with wine in it. Yeah.
That's so good.
Oh, I laughed so hard at that. Oh, man. So we're going to take this time to get to know each other a little bit. I mean, not us. We know each other.
We've never met.
Well. Yeah, hi. My name is David. Nice to meet you.
This is what's that website called where you go on there and you just find random people in a video chat?
Omegle?
Omegle,
yeah.
This is Omegle.
So to help everyone get to know us a little bit better, I wonder if we could just go around and tell like a 2-minute version of a funny story or interesting thing or fact from like your childhood or whatever, just to help people get to know us a little bit better.
Okay, I got one. I'll kick us off. So I'll start with the punchline. I don't like clowns. 2016 was a rough year for me. There were clowns
the clown
running
apocalypse.
Yeah, there were clowns running amok across America, jumping out of cornfields, showing up on college campuses, and
With literal machetes.
Yeah, I wasn't having it. It was a rough year to be Cameron Bass. Don't like clowns, don't like people in costumes in general. Fun story that goes behind that from childhood. As all good childhood birthday parties take place, I had one that took place in the one and only Chuck E. Cheese. World's best pizza right there. And so we were, at Chuck E. Cheese, and as you know, there's these animatronic terrifying creatures that some god-awful man created, and I don't know why. And but at the end of the night, they bring out Chucky himself, and he is the most terrifying beast ever. And it was my birthday, so that means Chucky has to walk up to me, and I wasn't having it because I'm afraid of people in costumes. And Chuck E. Cheese approaches me for my birthday, and everyone's singing my happy birthday song, and they have a cake. And I ran away, and I ran out of the building, and I ran into the bushes at the side of the building, and I hid in the bushes until my brother came and found me and tried to talk me back into going inside to enjoy the rest of my birthday party. To this day, I'm terrified of people in costumes, namely clowns.
Wow, I never knew, Cameron, you were the Chucky's gonna eat me kid.
It was a rough time.
Who wasn't a little afraid of old Chuck Cheese, though? I mean...
I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese.
Really?
Even as an adult. I've never been.
As an adult, it's the time to go.
Yeah,
I swear, I saw Lil Pump. It's the only explanation. Because I was driving past a Chuck E. Cheese, and a hot pink Lamborghini drove past me and turned into
I
the
think
Chuck
you told
E.
us this.
lot. And that's the only explanation that I have in my mind. Is that Lil Pump was going to Chuck Cheese.
That's what he's up to nowadays.
Ben, what's your story?
So I was a very different person in high school. We all know I was
Milady.
Fedora Kid, Milady. I was also in show choir. So there was I had a lady in show choir that I was very enamored with, and we were paired up on one of our dances. And within the dance there was a lift that happened, and now we were practicing on the stage this day, and we had just had lunch, and I was getting into the dance, and we go for the lift. She jumps into my arms, and I give off the biggest fart in the world. Like the force of the jump just like pushes the air all out my butt. And I am so embarrassed at this point that I actually put her down and I'd run out of the auditorium.
Oh
I
no.
sit in the bathroom until the
Oh,
bell rings,
no.
and then I next class.
Wait,
So
so you ran into the bathroom and sat in the stall. So they gave off the vibe that something else happened.
no one knew that I was in the bathroom, but that was just a good place to hide until next period.
Okay.
Well, let's be honest. Where else do you go to cry?
That's where I always went to cry.
Dana gets it.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Sorry that
Wait,
happened.
I need a part
Rough
2
time.
of this. What happened after the bathroom again?
I waited until the bell rang and I went to my next class. I completely avoided the situation.
So what happened with the lady?
Nothing ever came of it
Okay.
because I'm convinced it's because I ripped a good one during that dance.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the fedora. Oh man, Parker, you got one?
I do actually. So I went to a pretty small Christian school. There were 8 people in the class that I graduated with in 8th grade.
And
Okay,
it was
I
not
went
your
to
house.
No, I went to a big high school. I mean, relatively so for like Southern Missouri, but a small Christian school up until junior high. And so it was 8th grade. So I was the top of the food chain because I was the oldest guy in school, right, in the 8th grade. And I was also like one of the tallest people in school. So I thought I was pretty cool. So picture day rolls around and they want to do an entire school picture, okay, because it's a small Christian school. So they can fit everybody kindergarten to 8th grade in the school picture. Since I was like the tallest person in school, they stuck me way in the back. So I was way in the back and there was just like multiple rows of just children in front of me because I mean, it's 8th grade to kindergarten. So it's just all these children. And it took forever for the photographer to set this picture up. And I have unfortunately large feet. And so the step that I was on, my foot couldn't fit on entirely. And so I was totally locking my knees. And
no.
right about the time that he's about to take the picture, I don't really know what happened, but I passed out cold, okay? And just fell face first on top of just rows of children that I assume I crushed. I woke up like a minute later, and everybody was cleared out of the way. Here's one of the worst parts. They just stuck me in a chair next to the kindergarten kids and then finished the picture. So the picture exists with me just in a chair next to all the kindergarten kids and the 8th grade in the back.
What's that one movie where like they take the dead guy and put sunglasses on him?
Yeah.
And, like, walk him?
Burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's
like
the best part of the story. So that was the thing that happened to me in 8th grade. Okay, that was embarrassing. I'm working for this church back in my hometown, and they asked me to go to the high school to speak to the FCA one morning. And I go and I do my little talk, and I wrap up, and I'm just kind of like saying goodbye to all the students as they're leaving. And this one girl walks up to me and says, "You crushed me when you were in 8th grade. Hi, my name's AJ, and you don't know who I am. But when I was in like 1st grade, when you passed out, you just totally crushed me, and I just wanted you to know that."
What a legacy. My tale is somewhat of a confession.
You have a tale.
I do have a tale. I got your joke.
I think you didn't at first, and then yeah. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Cameron. Thanks, Dad. My tale is more of a confession because I don't think I've ever told anyone this, and it needs to be confessed. So this was in 4th grade. And you know how like in 4th grade you're learning your multiplication, your division, all of those with your flashcards?
Oh yeah.
Well, we were doing that, and we were doing like pairing up against each other, like competition, you know, like a tournament style thing, 2-on-2.
As you do, you embarrass the children.
Yes, and well, no, this is fine because what happened was we went out of the classroom 2 at a time into the hallway where these 2 parents were the ones holding the flashcards, and whoever did it fastest got to stay there. The loser went back into the classroom. Okay, I guess it is kind of public shaming.
Yeah.
Loser went back into the classroom, and the next person came out, right? So that's the scenario. And I'm in here. I come It's my turn. I sit down in the chair and I notice the glass exit door is directly behind the mom that's holding the flashcards. And so I don't say anything. And so what happens is she holds up the first flashcard. Immediately, I can see the answer
Oh,
in the
no.
mirror behind me, in the glass behind me. I say the answer right away, like no hesitation at all. And the
This
mom's
kid's a
like, I've
genius.
the mom's like, I've never seen anyone answer this question this fast. And so this goes on for a couple people, right? And I'm the reigning champion, but really I'm just seeing the answers in the glass. And so finally, after like at least 6 people, I just blew out of the water. This mom's like, can you see the answers in the glass behind me? And I just look at her, and then I just get up and walk into the class. Oh,
That's incredible.
I felt so bad.
Ingenuity,
Yeah.
which is in its own way a form of genius.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Yeah. They should have boosted you up a grade.
Yeah, I should have graduated high school.
All
All right, hopefully.
See, you should graduate high school.
Oh, if that was the standard.
You would already fail because you have glasses.
And with that, moving
Okay.
moving the show along. Did you guys know there's a new Telltale game?
What?
I thought you said
I
they
thought they
shut
went out
down.
of business.
No.
You
Nope, they didn't.
bamboozled us.
Well, it's not a real game. It's on Netflix.
Oh.
Oh,
And do you want to know what the game's called?
gosh,
Yeah.
is it Minecraft?
It's Minecraft Story Mode.
Dang it.
I
And
do
let me
remember
tell you-
seeing something about that. Okay.
Let me tell you, if you guys are looking for a fun evening thing to do, you
Get
load
your
up
lady
Minecraft.
over.
Yeah, load up Minecraft Story Mode on the old computer, and it's going to change your life. The story it's compelling, it's heartbreaking, you really get attached to the characters, especially you play as Jesse. He's the main character. There's a female version of Jesse as well for those of you who are into that.
That's true.
There's like a super punk girl named Petra. She's awesome. But yeah, listen, guys, you got to check it out on Netflix. Minecraft Story Mode by
Wait.
Telltale Games.
Why wouldn't you just play actual Minecraft? Like, why
Because
would you
this is
play a
story
game
mode.
about Minecraft when you can
Cameron.
just play Minecraft?
Cameron, listen, no, you gotta go watch it because it is the most compelling storyline in the world. It's like 10 out of 10.
More
Yes.
compelling than the Walking Dead Telltale story?
Listen, I had tears coming. I'm only at episode 2.
I just wish I wish I could have just been
Cameron's
a fly
face
on
is
the
in
wall.
pure disbelief.
Just a fly on the wall in the board meeting, that decided like some guy walks in and he's
Was, hey, you know those Telltale Walking Dead games we did? Those were a huge hit. You know what else is a huge hit right now? Minecraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a fist bump. So
That's real
yeah,
rough.
all I'm saying is you guys need to go watch it, especially if you love action and adventure and building.
apparently a heartwarming story.
It's heartwarming.
And you like punk people.
It's about, friendship and teamwork, relationship building. It's got
Ooh.
it all. It's got it all.
Love interest?
It's got it all, man. It's got it all. So yeah, that's a Minecraft Story Mode on Netflix. Check it out. There's another show that we want to spend a little bit of time talking about today. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to Parker because he's the one that turned us all onto it. So go ahead, Parker.
So I saw, basically, I opened my Netflix and it said suggested for you. This is probably about a month ago. I Think You Should Leave, which is this new sketch comedy show.
Can you give us a little picture of what the show is about?
Yeah.
From fresh ears and eyes.
Yeah. So it's it's kind of hard to describe. I mean, it's a sketch comedy show.
Yeah.
So there's just
Yeah.
multiple different odd sketches. The episodes are really short, if I remember right, like 20 minutes, sometimes
Usually like
maybe-
16. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and it's just multiple short comedy sketches with kind of a varying cast, but there's one consistent cast member, is Tim Robinson, who's just the biggest goof I've ever seen on camera. And it just, the topics just are wild and crazy, and it's just like I think the best way I could describe it is like a very outlandish version of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, so it's just a sketch comedy show that's just bizarre. But yeah. Cameron, opinions.
Okay, so yeah, you guys were talking about it last week, and you're like, you need to check it out. You got to see what it's like. So I kind of pushed it off until this evening. I was eating dinner, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch a couple episodes before tonight. And so, because I knew they were short, and I was like, maybe I'll just watch one and get a grasp of it. Started watching one, and I was like, okay, I got to get into the feel of this. I was trying to feel it out for what it is, and I'm like, okay, this is very unique. By the very end sketch of episode 1, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch another one. Great show for me. I'm someone who likes to, go on YouTube and look up old SNL sketches, or like Whose Line Is It Anyway, or like things like that. So if you enjoy doing that kind of thing, this show's perfect because it's super short and like just a bunch of sketches that are totally outlandish. But something that it reminded me of was what we talked about last week with the Black Mirror. And like one of the things we find interesting about it is it like takes a part of humanity and is like twists it in like an overboard way. Whereas this is like more of a comical, it's like it had this theme of like, have you ever experienced this, or has this ever happened to you? And so it takes like really weird, like very.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it takes
Ever
like,
happened to you?
it takes very like tiny, distinct social interactions and just makes them completely off the wall and hilarious.
I mean, because the
was
first
spectacular.
episode like has bits on when you open a door the wrong way, and it's supposed to be a push and you pulled it, and when you give gifts and people give receipts, and how weird that is, and how you have to fake like you like your gifts all the time, but it just blows them to crazy proportions. But one of the things that I was kind of thinking about it is, with any sketch comedy show, you're not gonna like every sketch,
Right.
like even if you watch some of like the top of the line stuff with SNL, like not every sketch connects with every person.
Mm-hmm.
But because some people were like saying this was just like too outlandish for them and it didn't feel grounded enough, and that's why it's gotten some kind of mixed reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about with it is, like, in contrast to SNL, one of the things that I loved about I Think You Should Leave is that it's completely not political.
Yeah.
And it's not in the sense that I don't enjoy political satire, and because I love some political satire. I mean, like some of my favorite things to look at on social media are like The Onion and Babylon Bee, and like I love to play on like current events. But there's comedies become, I think, so saturated with like political commentary and kind of like playing off of what's going on in current events, that for me it was almost like a breath of fresh air to have this just completely outlandish thing that wasn't even remotely close to reality, but it did touch on like the things that we all experience throughout our lives.
Yeah, it was like the perfect balance of all of that.
It feels like something that would have been on YouTube, but somehow ended up on Netflix. And I love that about it.
Very good stuff.
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and take a short break, but we will be right back with the Cameron's Corner.
Turns and goes, "It's my illusion," and shoots the lighter fluid onto the like wedding banquet stuff and just burns the tent to the ground.
Hey guys, we should prank him by replacing his toilet with one with a slightly smaller hole.
Then running around his house and yelling, "Turbo team, turbo team." And then when he tries to join in, we'll tell him, "You're not part of the turbo team."
Oh man, that happened to me last weekend.
So what happened to you?
And we're back. Welcome. Now, Now I'm told that Cameron has something that he wants to talk about, and so we're gonna go ahead and give him the airspace.
I mean, I got a little something up my sleeve. So I was browsing online,
Which he just put that sweater on, so it's
I
fresh.
did. Yeah, wardrobe change. It's a little chilly in here. Anyways, I was browsing the internet as you do when you're a millennial, and I encountered um, a story. I don't know if this is new. I didn't even check when it happened. Maybe this was like a year ago. But did you guys hear about the little girl who was a Girl Scout and she was selling Girl Scout cookies outside of the marijuana dispensary? No. Okay. Okay.
No.
Cool.
Tell me
No, I
So,
did not.
so basically, this girl, I don't know the full details of the story. I don't know if like it was her idea. If it is, she's a genius because I think she was like 8, and or it could have been her
She should
parents.
graduate high school.
Yeah, she should graduate high school for that move. And so basically, she was a Girl Scout and she was, trying to roll in the dough a little bit, and she wanted to make some of the money. And so she's like, great place to sell cookies, people with the munchies. They're always looking for cookies. So she set up shop outside of a dispensary, and apparently she sold like 400 boxes in one day.
Wow.
And so they had to like check and make sure that she wasn't participating in any kind of illegal activity. And then they're like, "Oh no, you're just a cute little kid. That's really smart, and you're good. You're set." So, because I guess like the dispensary posted on like their Instagram page or something, and they're like, "Hey, come by and get some cookies while you're here," and like. But anyways,
That's
I-
amazing.
yeah, I thought it was great, and I was like, "What can we collectively as friends come up with? Because we're being beaten by an 8-year-old. We need some kind of business idea."
Well, let's
Oh,
be honest.
man.
That 8-year-old girl is on her way to Harvard Business School, like right now.
Yeah.
Man,
So
I'm
we don't
selling
we
my
don't stand a
blood
chance.
to afford coffee at this point. So
Oh, buddy.
Selling your blood to afford coffee.
I do have a question though. You said that they had to check to make sure there was no illegal activities. Was there a cookie audit, or what exactly entailed?
I don't know. I didn't read the full article. All I know is there was like a minor investigation of like just making sure that it was all cool, because they're like, "Hey, there's an 8-year-old outside of a dispensary, like
Yeah.
setting up shop, selling things."
Hey, do you guys think that sometime in the near future there's gonna be like Girl Scout cookies baked with weed?
Oh, for sure.
ooh,
That girl's
that's
gonna
an
start it,
interesting
too.
question.
I don't know if Girl Scouts will be selling them though. I feel like
Okay.
that's probably illegal to have minors selling marijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
a
good
form of
point. That's a
cookie.
good point.
So that would be breaking some child labor laws, I think.
No, that you just gotta leave it for like what's the like Girl Scout equivalent of like an Eagle Scout,
Oh
Like
yeah.
the adults that never stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're the ones that are gonna be selling those cookies.
The adults
Yeah.
that never stopped. You make it sound like a plague, some kind of virus that needs to be stopped. Those Eagle Scouts.
Cameron, let's be honest. Were you a Boy Scout?
Okay. So, yes and no. I did it for like 2 months because I had a friend who was, and his dad like ran the local thing, and I always wanted to go camping, and they were going camping, and he's like, "If you join the Boy Scouts, you can go camping." And I was like, "Okay." So I went camping with the Boy Scouts. Didn't know how to tie a knot or start a fire. I don't think I learned the whole time I was camping either. And then they did one of those derby race things with the cars that you make shortly after. So I built a car, raced, I lost, and then I quit. Not because I lost,
Right.
not because I
Sure.
lost, but I realized the Boy Scouts weren't for me. I was like, I can just watch bushcraft survival videos on YouTube and learn how to make a longbow. I don't need this crap.
Yeah. Do it the old-fashioned way.
This is child's play, the Boy Scouts.
Now, Ben seemed to be very excited to share what he has to share, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't have video today, but we can still hear him loud and clear. So Ben, go ahead and take it away.
All right. So I've been telling you my topic. It's about blueberries and space. So I need you guys real quick indulge me for a second. what do you think would happen if the Earth was replaced with an equivalent volume of blueberries, but like uncondensed? What do you think would happen in that scenario?
A
Well,
lot of
gravity would be a whole lot
decomposition.
lighter, right? Because there's no way a blueberry is as dense as the Earth,
I
Well, did
mean,
you say of
right?
equivalent volume, but just the size of a blueberry, or was it size?
like, so an uncondensed, so like regular blueberry size, same volume as the Earth.
Okay.
Okay.
It's got to mess up like everything with physics.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the best thing about this whole question is that there was a scientist who did the math, and he figured it all out, and he wrote a paper and published it.
Wow.
Wow.
I love
What did he
academia.
what did he say?
So Dr. Anders Sandberg, he said, if we used, assuming that it was big, thick-skinned, high-bush blueberries, there would be more space between them so that air can fill those. Due to the air between the blueberries, there'd be a reduction in gravity. You were right about that. There'd be a huge reduction in
nailed it.
gravity by about 87%. So if I was 150 pounds, which I totally am, that's how much I weigh. I would weigh 20 pounds instead of
Flexing on us.
150.
Wow, Cameron, how
Incredible.
much
And
would the Loch Ness monster weigh?
The Loch Ness
Yeah,
monster
yeah.
would weigh approximately 200 pounds.
So, following this, right after the Earth turns into blueberries, there would be an implosion of the Earth as those air pockets kind of just closed right up. Those air bubbles would be moved to the surface, creating geysers throwing matter into space, and
Which are
then there would be which would just be blueberry juice. And then the worst was that there would be earthquakes, not to be, or if you want to say blueberry quakes,
be
not to be
blueberry
confused
quakes,
with
yeah.
blueberry cakes. And then it would be
Or blueberry
250
shakes.
degrees. It would be 250 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, and there would be a steam atmosphere over a
Ugh.
blueberry jam ocean with a core of blueberry ice due to the pressure. And
So
he
it's,
calculated all the math out. He got everything figured out, and he's like, so that was a good use of my time.
Now they need to make a Telltale game about two Minecraft people living in that universe.
Hey,
Yes.
listen, I know one thing. It's gonna make you cry.
Here's what's really going on here. I think you're missing the point. If we're talking an ice cold blueberry middle with
Yep.
Ooh.
250 degree blueberry jam surrounding it in a
Oh,
thin
yeah.
atmosphere of blueberry steam. Well, listen, all we're talking about
That's the
here.
next Girl Scout cookie.
No, listen, all we're talking about here is a blueberry toaster strudel.
Oh yeah, that sounds so
A
good.
ravioli.
You're so right.
And let's be honest, it's the best one you will ever have.
It's just the Earth is just a big old blueberry toaster strudel. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not afraid to say it. That's what science is telling me.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
If it was all replaced with the same volume of blueberries, the Earth would be a blueberry toaster strudel.
Incredible.
Hey guys, I got a problem with blueberries, and I need you to help me out.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
They're called blueberries,
Mm-hmm.
Right?
but the skin
not.
is purple
Mm-hmm.
and the inside is green.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: when you mash them, it's blue. How do they work?
It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Science has no idea.
It's like that. Let me get a science doctor to explain that to me, and then I'll take their science seriously.
Wow.
Speaking of things with colors, with purple and all of that jazz, let's go on to Parker's philosophy corner. See what he's
What?
got today.
Ooh, that's a
What a
good
segue.
transition, actually. Yeah.
Professional podcasters.
Mr. Evenson, I just want to thank you for that segment because that's truly fascinating. I'm still kind of thinking about it, honestly.
Right?
And
I
I'm
was so happy when I found it.
yeah, because
Mm.
I'm just happy to know that the Earth would just be a blueberry toaster strudel. But with that being said, we're bombarded by advertisements like every day. So since I've been home, I've been watching cable TV, which I can't afford if I'm not living in my parents' basement. And there's so many commercials. And also when I watch YouTube, now YouTube has like 2 ads per space, which is just
Yeah.
crazy.
That's absurd. I hate that.
Fixing the
so much.
adpocalypse, man, as a
So-
YouTuber.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in real quick.
Yeah.
I want to throw in. So I have an ad blocker on my computer. Confession. Sorry, Cameron.
What? I thought you
Cameron makes money on
Hey,
YouTube.
And all of you watching, turn off ad blocker. It helps support people like me who make YouTube videos.
Please go to Save Your Gaming on YouTube.com.
Link in the description.
YouTube.com/SaveYourGaming.
Yeah.
That's not the actual link.
It's /C/Savior Gaming. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, I forget about my ad blocker sometimes, and so this morning I was watching YouTube on my phone, and I was rewatching, like picking up a video that I had started watching the night before, and I was like, there are so many ads on this video. Why are there so many ads? And then I realized, like, yeah, they have 2 in the ad slot now, but it's also like I had no ads before, and so
Yeah.
it's just a nightmare.
So we're surrounded by advertising every day, because even if you're scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, there's ads all over the place. Even if you're counting, especially if you're counting brand deals, sponsorships, there's advertising going on all around you. And what I've noticed recently is that as I've been doing my scrolling through the memes, there's been more of a crossover between the meme world and the advertising world. And so what I want to kind of bring up, so through the past year, I've forced you guys, I think you enjoyed it after a while, into watching the Purple Boys series.
There was no forcing in that.
The Purple Mattress guys, which was this mattress company gave Tim and Eric, who made an absurdly ridiculous sketch show in the early 2000s, they just paid them to basically do their thing and make commercials for them. And they were just bizarre, crazy commercials, but it brought in a ton of revenue because like brought all this attention onto the Purple brand. And I'd like to kind of put that in contrast with, as I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed looking at some memes, and I get this ad for Gushers. Okay. And I click on the Gushers thing just kind of because of being nostalgic. The entire page is just Gushers memes, but it's their actual page.
Yeah.
And
it's terrible.
what I realized was that when you click on somebody you don't follow, it gives you like other suggestions. This is a thing for fruit roll-ups, Totino's pizza. Everybody's got meme pages now for their brands. And so I want to talk about memes and advertising. So what do you guys think? Like, is there a good way to do it? Is there a bad way to do it? How have you seen it done? If we could just kind of open up a discussion about meme culture and advertising kind of coming to a head.
That's good.
Well, yeah, I want to go along with I know Denny's did like a terrible ad campaign too, where they like theirs was just weird though too. Well, I guess that's kind of how Gushers is doing too, and fruit roll-ups. I think that's a terrible idea, personally. And like the Wendy's Twitter page also became a meme.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of Twitter pages are, because they'll like fight back and forth and get into like Twitter wars and.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're Wendy's and we're mean to people on the internet. I don't understand it personally, but I think Purple Boys was my favorite because it was like it had a storyline.
It did. It's like 6 episodes of perfection.
And it was ridiculous and everything, and I was just like, why am I watching this? But at the end of the day, I was like, this is funny, and I really want a purple mattress.
To this day, I still want one.
But when you sent that meme of the Gushers in a bowl of ravioli the other day, I was like, that is the most.
I put my ravioli in my ravioli, and it was just Gushers mixed in with like Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Oh, that was
from the official Gushers Instagram page.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scrolling the Gushers page right now, It's working. I really want some gushers right now.
A ravioli gotcha.
It
Yeah.
does.
Mm. See, I think that there's a difference between the two of like it's definitely a different sense of humor and like the approach they're taking, but also it's like even what they're advertising for. It's like Gushers is, or even like talking about the Twitter pages for like fast food restaurants and things like that. Something that's like I don't know, a bit more like day to day, like it's food items, and so it's a bit more regular. Whereas your mattress is like you don't really think about your mattress brand a ton, and so it was like totally revolutionizing this idea of just putting out bizarre, wild humor that just drew people in, and they're like, these guys are funny. I want to buy their product because they're really funny.
If you do like a deep dive into the Purple Mattress YouTube page, you see that this wasn't the first time they've used
Right.
crazy humor to do their advertisement. Like you've seen the whole time they've been advertising on YouTube, they've had just ridiculous and silly advertisements for their
Mhm.
for their mattresses. It didn't start with the Purple Boys.
Right.
So they've been on this trend since before this whole
Right.
meme advertisement took off.
It's interesting, yeah, because I mean, their advertisement was just a different, I don't know, it was in a different realm of the internet too, of like the idea of doing YouTube advertising and like doing humor in a way that fits where it's at. So it's like YouTube advertisements, you think of sketches and funny videos and like different things like that. And they like just took it, and so they would take YouTube stars or like different people that are able to use that platform, and then they just like put them in there and like made it professional. And I think that like worked extremely well. Whereas like, yeah, the Gushers thing seems more like some dude in his garage pumping out memes, 20 memes a day.
Yeah, so it sounds like our general consensus is that like you can use memes, but still make it an advertisement.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kids and your memes, you just want to look at memes and buy my stuff. That's
Yeah.
not
The
that's not
Gushers
how it
is
really
more.
works.
Yeah, the Gushers is more of like a product placement. It's just like, here you go. It's in the middle of this meme.
Right. Because
Yeah.
there will be ones that it's just like some person and it's like when mom gives you gushers and then they just have glowing eyes, and it's
Yeah.
like, that's not a real funny meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like for you guys, as we kind of bring this to a close, does meme advertising work for you? Like, because I'm assuming that we're their target audience when they bring memes
Right.
into.
Right.
And like we said at the beginning, and for me, like for Purple, it totally worked. I would
Oh, yeah.
love to have a Purple mattress. I can't
Oh,
afford
yeah.
at all. Nor have I ever laid on one, or do I even know if they're comfortable. But I fully believe that they are
I
because of this
trust them.
part series. Yeah, just trust the Purple Boys.
I've seen them cure the Sunday scaries.
Yeah. Dude.
But for like the other stuff, like with Wendy's being active on Twitter
Yeah.
and Gushers having an Instagram page, like does that have any bearing on whether or not you buy their product?
Well,
Oh.
let me say first, I don't think I've ever had a craving for Wendy's. It's just
Oh, you shut your dang mouth.
Hey now.
I don't know. It's just it's not. Yeah. So their Twitter page just being mean to people, I don't think that's funny, really, and it doesn't make me
Yeah.
want to go get one of their hamburgers anymore.
Right.
And then like I said, with the Gushers doing gross stuff like putting their Gushers in ravioli, or like Denny's doing something weird with like their pancakes. They always do,
Yeah.
That doesn't really work. And so I'd say more often than not, those kinds of things don't work.
I think to summarize our thoughts, if it's like an actually really good meme that's consistently good and it's made by people who like actually make good memes and it is an advertisement as well and it's not just like purely product placement, it can work. But just trying to engage in the digital space doesn't mean we'll eat your cheeseburgers more. Sorry, Wendy's.
Right.
And
Yeah.
sorry, Gushers.
Yeah, we want to go ahead and open that up to you guys in the discussions on the Instagram and the YouTube comments. And what do you guys think? How should memes be used in advertising? Should they, or should they not? And let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And with that, boys, I think we have another episode of a podcast. So I
The
think it's
first episode.
the first episode.
Yeah,
But
episode
yeah.
one.
Episode 1. So if you're still here, thank you for the watch time and thank you for listening and hanging out with the boys. I hope it's been a fun time. And
If you liked it, go ahead and leave a comment. If you didn't like it, go ahead and leave a comment.
smash
Thumbs
that
up,
heckin' like
thumbs down.
button.
Dude, ask us some questions in the comments and maybe we'll answer them
Yeah, we
next
can
time or something. That'd be
bring
fun.
some questions in.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. The world's your oyster. It's
Any
your gusher.
engagement is good for the video, so.
World's your gusher.
Let's sign off. Okay. It's been a podcast. We're the boys. I'm Parker.
Ben.
I'm Cameron.
And I am David. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.